have a special guest that's in the booth right now. We have Mr. Halperin and his son Mikey. He's one of the owners of Heritage Auctions and the heir apparent. Yeah, get on the other side.
Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh,
Of course. So
I've met you for the first time.
yeah,
So nice to meet
It's
you.
a pleasure.
I like to say she's my better 9/10.
At least. No.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
that would be incredible because you're pretty great.
Okay, I appreciate that. You've said that a few times. If you keep saying it, I might believe you.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, low self-esteem. So, tell me what your impressions are of Comic-Con so far.
I mean, there's a lot of people.
Right?
It is a sea of humanity.
We
Of
all-
all
And
types of
and
humanity.
it's our people.
yeah, it's all our
It is.
people.
Yeah.
Now, you started Heritage in 1970.
Well, it's
Six?
complicated, but my partner started his auction company in 1976. Mine was
Okay, I was
started in
right.
75.
Okay.
And we merged the two companies in 1982.
And that was mostly coins to begin with,
It
right?
was- it was all coins.
Yeah, it was all coins. Okay.
And we gradually expanded our auction business, and then the internet came, and we built a site that people really liked. That was in the late 90s.
Right.
And in the early 2000s is when we started adding other categories.
Yeah, adding other categories,
And I
branching out.
got back to go back to my first love, which was comics, because I was a
That's awesome.
comic dealer when I was 11, 12 years old, 4
Right.
years before I became a coin dealer.
That's so cool. That's exactly the same age that we have in common. Like that 10, 11, 12 years was where I was buying and selling comics and coins and like getting into it and collecting and making sure my checklists were all done. And yeah, that's where I had my original childhood collection and my first love. And that's what drew me back in to the hobby when I met my lovely wife. And I stopped, pursuing other things, running around, and and settled down and started collecting comics again, and it's grown into this. This is my version of Heritage Auctions. So, yeah.
I
So
love the catalogs that you make. They're so much fun to
Thank
look
you.
through.
Thank you.
and then you're passing
And
this love
this is my favorite. This is always my favorite booth.
oh, thank you.
Yes.
That's the right answer.
And
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, I felt the favor. I felt the favoritism in San Diego, so I hope to duplicate some of that. But it depends on what you're in the mood for. Now, Mikey, how did you come into help? We're really loving comics and wanting to be like a comic category guy.
Well, so comics have been, in my life kind of forever. And,
Right.
the original artwork of like Silver Surfer #1 had been in my room my entire life. And honestly, I looked at it, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I love the superheroes, but it never
You
really
have the
drawn
Surfer
me
One
in.
cover in your room?
I had it until he had robbed me of it and put it off to auction, not to auction, off to be viewed by everyone in a museum on
okay.
tour. And now I don't get to enjoy it every day.
Yeah, you were very gracious about that sacrifice.
Yeah.
But I really,
It was on loan to you to begin with, admit it there. Okay.
But I really only started getting deeply into comics about a year and a half ago. I just finished with school. I decided it wasn't for me, and I was trying to go the coin route, and it was a snooze. It was boring,
Yeah.
and I understood the money that I could be making in it, but it wasn't. I wasn't
It wasn't
exactly
fun like
excited
comics
about
are,
it.
yeah.
So I went to
Not the
NGC,
same
which
kind.
is one of the companies that
The
that's-
coin grading company.
The coin grading company
Yeah.
of CGC. So while I was there grading coins, Matt Nelson was like, "Hey, come over to CGC for a day." So then after a day of that, I spent the rest of my time there learning how to grade comics.
Well,
and
I did an interview with Matt Nelson, and we talked about his influence and how he pushed this whole industry in this direction of
Yeah.
graded comic books. And he really had a great influence on this whole hobby as a whole. And of course, you hired him, right?
Well, I did. I
well,
partnered
yeah.
with him.
Yes, you partnered
some.
with him. Yes.
some business, but
Yes.
no, he was too expensive for Heritage to hire
Oh, okay.
even back then.
Matt introduced me to the whole comic hobby, really. And then after my week of learning how to grade with them, I then went back to Heritage and I started, learning even deeply more about it. Now that was a year and a half ago, and now I've been working with Worldwide Comics, Steven Ritter, who's taught me everything I know really about grading, and has really just.
So how did you attach? I know I've sold you a bunch of pre-code horror and LB Cole stuff.
That is
How did you attach to something that was from the, late 40s, early 50s? Like boom, like that's the era that you're kind of connected with.
Because it's so cool.
Okay.
It's just
Can you
so
say
cool.
We try not to, but
Sorry.
Monetize.
Bleep
But it
that
is.
out.
But it is.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's the gruesome stuff.
Yeah.
And it's the stuff that's so scarce that you can't find. Because while you can find an Amazing Spider-Man 129 almost anywhere, it's First Punisher. It's an incredible book, an incredible cover, and it's worth the money that it is. It should honestly be worth more, in my opinion. But they're still everywhere. But you can't find a Mr. Mystery 12 anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's.
How
the
about that
hunt.
one
It's
with
thrill
the
of
guy that
hunt.
tore out his own heart? I
Weird
gave you?
Mysteries number 8. Oh, no, Weird Tales of the Future number 8. I'm sorry, Weird Tales of the Future number 8. Oh, it's incredible. That's an incredible one. And there's just so many great horror books, and I have a lot of them to thank Anthony for. So.
So tell me, be political, but you like how New York has come up in the way that, kind of outshining San Diego in a way.
Well, in a way, I think the crowd's a little bigger. I've never been to a New York Comic Con.
Oh my
before.
God, this is the first?
This is my first one.
Virgin.
But I heard it was great, and
Yeah.
so came to check it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I like it in the way.
It's terrific.
It's important for me and the business in the way that San Diego's infrastructure is kind of maxed out. Of course, that's why they've talked about moving to Anaheim. There's been those rumor
Grumblings,
mills.
yeah.
Those grumblings. Yeah, those are more like grumblings. And the influence of the LA movie studios with bringing that stuff closer has been a big influence on them. But when New York can handle another 100,000, 200,000 people like nothing. There's 100,000 new people in Midtown just in the hotel district every year. Every week. So it doesn't like really move the needle so much. It just makes parking hard in this neighborhood.
Nobody has cars here anyway.
Yeah, well, I have. I have
very few.
I have to get my truck in and out and all that stuff.
Yes, that's true.
So also, I've done business with Italians. A Brazilian guy bought some stuff just now. Where else? Spain. Where else? French, Belgium. So all these Europeans, huh?
All today?
Yeah, in the past, since we opened. So, you have the Europeans and South Americans, and they're all coming because of the accessibility. And that's where the growth is in this show. And I have a big presence here. I have the biggest, sole proprietor presence, if you want to call it there. I own all this stuff, but I don't want to own it for long. So come on down and see me.
And I can vouch. You'll get good deals here.
Thank you.
Yes.
Anthony is very fair, and he always has great stuff.
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna make
But
you
I
laugh.
don't have that great stuff for long because
And
I
he'll
do
make
great
you laugh.
deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
And the whole staff is so friendly and so nice and very efficient.
They let you
Well,
dress
I don't
as
know about
Spider-Man.
that, but
They appear
They piss me off on a
to
daily
the outside
basis, but-
world to be very efficient.
Okay. I thank you. So what's your plans for the monster that you've helped create and build? More categories, more locations.
Yes and yes.
Nice.
But slowly. We don't want it to spin out of control. We want to do it safely.
But if you
and-
delegate and hire the right department
Yeah.
heads, that's the way it works, right?
Yes, it is.
That's what I've tried to do in
And
my
we have-
own small way is hire department heads that handle
Yeah.
categories and.
And I feel we have an incredible team, especially in comics.
Yeah,
I
of
think
course.
we
Yeah,
just have the
Yeah,
best
I
of
did
the
a
best.
deal with your head guy, Mr. Ed Jaster. Did a deal with him yesterday. I don't know if you heard.
I did hear.
Okay.
Thank you very
well,
much.
I'm glad it was big enough to register on the Jim Halperin meter. That's good. I'm hopeful that we'll do well with that stuff. And anything that you're looking for? I mean, for this show, Mikey? Or you looking for some more LB Cole or something like that?
I would love to find. I just actually bought a Terrors of the Jungle 20 signed by LB Cole.
No way.
Around a 7.0, 7.5-ish range.
Yeah.
Gorgeous book. Brilliant colors on it.
Yeah,
Perfect
and not
registry.
signed on the cover either. Which
No,
is
yeah,
good.
signed in
It's
the
much
interior.
better
So back
signed
in
in
the
the
day, I
interior.
remember this. I mean, back in the day, I was at a show and CC Beck was signing, and I had a couple Captain Marvels and I signed them, and they would always open and sign on that top bottom indentia. They didn't want to deface
right.
the cover.
Exactly.
That's right.
Yeah, this signing on the cover is a more recent thing. And you know, I found I bought a collection the other day, and there were some Disneys in it, and they were beat to shreds. But I opened it, and there was 2 of them signed by Carl Barks on the inside. That was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's fun. I always love Carl Barks. I mean, that's the underappreciated genius of comics in America.
Not really underappreciated anymore.
Well, it's kind of, yeah.
I appreciate them.
Yeah, me too.
The kids don't know him. So have we seen Venom
You
yet?
will. You will.
No, I've
Have
not
not
seen
seen
Venom.
I hope it's good. I mean,
Yeah, we all hope it's
everyone
good.
hopes.
Everyone
We
all
hopes,
hope
but
it's good.
everyone's
Everyone's scared.
Everyone's scared it isn't, but we all hope it is.
Venom has not been in a good movie yet.
Right? Well, you know, I watched Spider-Man 3 the other day, and it has its moments, I guess you'd say.
It does.
You know,
It does.
So, anyway,
But
thank
Tom
you
Hardy's
so much
incredible.
for
My
talking
pleasure.
to us.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you, sir. Thank you,
thank
sir.
you so much.
Thank you, Mikey.
Of
Have fun.
course.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to give him extra credit for wearing my shirt. This was unsolicited, by the way.
Yes, it
Are
was.
you staff?
I
No, you're
should
not
be.
staff.
I'd hire me. Hire
All
me.
right.
I'd leave Harry in
Sure,
a
I
second.
Shake hands with the
These guys, my own kids don't work so much. I mean, you know, if you need a few months of mentorship,
They
I'm
need,
available.
they need to break
When I
away
speak of
first
Right.
before they can come home.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. You hear that?
As long as they come home occasionally.
No, I'm just kidding.
Man,
Thank you so much.
thank you for having us.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Oh, get a hug.